New sexual abuse details emerge about the husband of the chair of the Bexar County Republican Party. With his health restored and a friend by his side, Rudy Gay predicts the Spurs will exceed expectations.
This guy's lost weight, and he looks really good. He's just in great shape.
And former San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro energizes Latinos and draws interest in the heartland.
He spoke with voters as he considers his own possible presidential bid in 2020.
I'm Chance Dorland with your Express Briefing for Wednesday, August 22nd. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. U.S. Army court documents have revealed new details about the government's evidence against Norman Brem, a retired lieutenant colonel and 22-year husband to Bexar County Republican Party Chair Cynthia Brem, with new records exposing that Cynthia was informed about details of her husband's case as it unfolded and benefited from its outcome. San Antonio Express News Metro columnist Brian Chasnoff writes that since news broke months ago about her husband's criminal record, Bexar County's current Republican Party chair has tried to suppress the truth about her family's disturbing history, even as some in the party have pushed for her ouster. According to records, Norman Brem gave a full confession detailing not only indecent liberties taken in 1999 with Cynthia's then 14-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, but also describing more than 10 years of egregious sexual molestation of 3 young relatives. Documents also state that despite the government's crushing evidence against him, Norman Brem received an extremely favorable plea agreement by pleading guilty to only 2 charges: indecency with a child and making a false statement, resulting in a sentence of 5 years confinement that was later reduced to only 2 years. Court records also show Cynthia Brem benefited financially from her husband's plea deal, which included a promise from the convening authority to waive automatic forfeitures for a period of 6 months for the benefit of his wife. Just 2 days removed from his 32nd birthday, Sunday Rudy Gay walked into a Baltimore suburb school gym for his Flight 22 Classic, looking relaxed, confident, and trimmer than usual. Despite Vegas odds that put San Antonio out of the playoffs for the first time in more than 2 decades, the second leading scorer for the Spurs last year feels good about both his health and the upcoming season, noting that while nobody expects them to be good, with the drama over Kawhi Leonard gone and the addition of 2 high-caliber players from Toronto, including an old friend, he doesn't know exactly why, promising that as the Spurs have always exceeded expectations, don't expect anything less this year. San Antonio Express News sports reporter Tom Orsborn was in Baltimore this weekend and spoke in depth with Rudy Gay about the 2018 season and his love for his hometown.
Rudy has a foundation called the Flight 22 Foundation. And among the things that that foundation has pulled off in recent years, they built a playground in one of the most impoverished, bleak areas of Baltimore in 2015, donated food to needy families at holiday time. Rudy also holds an annual basketball tournament that showcases East Coast teams and players. And that's why I went up there this past weekend, is because that tournament was going on. It was a perfect opportunity to really see him at his best as far as charitable work goes. And the neat thing about it, his entire family's involved, helping out his hometown. And Baltimore certainly needs it.
Hear more about Rudy Gay and other Spurs news on today's episode of the Spurs Insider, available for free download wherever you listen to podcasts, and always at expressnews.com/podcasts. And this weekend, Iowans greeted former San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro with cheers, and a sign of what his candidacy for president could mean to Latinos, and what the Lone Star State's burgeoning Hispanic population might do for the potential presidential candidate.
Travis County GOP Chairman Matt Makoviak and Tariq Thaufik from the Texas Democratic Party. Tariq, Castro has talked about the possibility of running for president for more than a year. Do you think it would happen?
Yeah, I think so. He's invested in a lot of candidates across the nation that are young and talented, diverse. It's part of his Opportunity First PAC, and I definitely think that it's on the table, and it's something that he's seriously looking at.
Matt Makoviak, what do you think the chances are that Castro would be the nominee for the Democrats, and would he be competitive against Donald Trump?
I think the chances that Julian Castro is the nominee on the Democratic side in 2020 are very low. I don't think he's even in the first two tiers of candidates. He's probably in the third or fourth tier, realistically. You got to remember, he served in the cabinet for President Obama. I suspect most people don't know he even served in that role, and certainly don't know what he did while he was there. And he was mayor of San Antonio before that. Mayor of San Antonio is a weak position. It's a weak government system, weak mayor system. The city manager is really doing most of the duties. Look, he's running for president because he's running for vice president. I think that's what this is about. He's not going to be the Democratic nominee.
You know, one thing that Julian brings that's kind of a unique perspective is that ability that Mac talked about. Being the mayor of one of the fastest growing and most diverse cities in America, San Antonio, allows you the ability to kind of look at people and communities on a more local level. And a lot of the big swings that we saw in 2016 happening in these metropolitan areas and suburban counties. And I think, both in his work in HUD, as well as mayor of San Antonio, positioned him well as a mayor to kind of speak to those concerns of everyday people.
And that's your daily San Antonio Express News briefing for Wednesday, August 22nd. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. I'm Chance Dorland.